morning, everyone. It's Monday, the 15th of April 2019. It's 8:08 a.m. Going to work right now. Another day, another dollar, and another Monday that my painter doesn't come into work because he doesn't like doing assembly work. He only likes painting, but we don't have painting all the time. So you have to do with because it's your job. And last I recall, he was made aware that what the job was. But sadly for him, he decided not to come in today. So on another note, sometimes I got these dreams where they extend very long and they're not that chaotic, but it's something that I perceive from the future or the past very often, future and past. And yesterday night I was in the future at someone's house, and the dream started as I was in class, and I was there to kind of assist the teacher with the kids, and the teacher had no clue how to teach kids. He was just passing up books and say, like, just read, and the kids were barely able to read because each time I was asking them to read a sentence, they were having problem reading. And in my dream, I can read. I can actually decipher writing in my dream. And I was reading the book and I was explaining to them what it was, and they were calling me a genius. They said, like, "Oh, you're so smart." And then I started figuring out that I know I was in the future because everything was different somewhat. And I was noticing that people were dumb as fuck. As sad as it seems. And then I went to a house where I was a guest. And the two parents of the house, they had, like, I don't know how many kids. There was a lot of kids over there. And one of the girls wanted to come to live with me. She was explaining to me that the system was in a way that if you're a single parent and you're taking up a kid, as long as you're going to raise the kid, they were going to help you pay for an apartment and everything else. So I was quite up for it, but the house where I was, they were trying to fix some electrical problems, and they had no clue how to do it. And at one point, the dad got an electric shock, and the guy was probably 35, 36 years old, and he was crying his heart out. And it was just a small electrical shock, and he was crying his heart out, like the guy never hurt himself in his life. And then I put ice on it to soothe the pain. And he said, like, "What are you, like a first responder or something?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And they said, like, "Oh my God, you're so smart." It's like, is this what the future is going to be? And now 40, 50 years from now, people are just going to get dumber and dumber, and that the AI take over. And the guy's place was huge. Just his balcony was the size of my apartment. And I was asking him, like, what is it that you do for a living if you're so dumb? And how come you can afford such a big place? And then he said, like, that place was provided. He couldn't, it's not that he afforded the place, it was provided. And his job was like some kind of tourist representative. And the wife was the same thing. Like, she was they were both working in tourism. And then, like I said, I was telling myself, like, how can you make a living raising 4 kids on a tourist representative salary? But it's thinking right now, not in the future. And it was quite something. But what I saw was a presentation of what could be in the future, that people will rely so much on the internet and on computer for knowledge that they're gonna learn less and less and less on their own. They're always gonna rely on the computer to tell them what it is, what to do, what's this information, how to do this, how to do that. They won't have any initiative or learning skill or memory skill. And this could be like a real representation of what things could be. Because just right now, as an example, when I was working at Mr. Lube, the young girl I was working with, she couldn't do any math without her calculator. And I say, like, you're looking at the numbers and you cannot figure it out how to just subtract and add. You need your phone every time. Seriously? And my nephew's the same thing. My poor nephew's the same thing. If I tell him, like, this is a value, because he wants to be an electrician, and then I say, like, if this is the value of a current divided by this much is going to give you the amperage, it's like, it's things that you should know by heart, right? It's easy calculation, you know. Now, I'm good at math, but that today's youth is like, wow, seriously. Even where I work right now, my painter, I tell him that how many pounds of powder will give you a running time. And then I was telling him it was something that he learned in school, that I knew that he learned in school. And it's like pound rates per hour. If you're gonna run your machine for how many hours, you need to add this much pound of paints and this size container to know that you're gonna do your entire run before you run it empty. So I was surprised that he didn't know that math, because it's something that he learned in school. So no, today's the future doesn't look so bright in any direction. It's not gonna end with Nibiru or any Planet X or crap like this. I know there's something that is coming and something that is going to affect us, but it's not something that's going to destroy the planet or it's going to kill us all. It's just something that's going to set us back, and we're going to have to reconstruct everything. And when this thing's going to set us back, it's going to be like not a full reset, but a certain level of reset, just like in Walking Dead.
Incoming call.